Good morning, everybody. Is it just me, or on my YouTube page when it lists all the videos, does it look like I'm like stuck in like constipation mode? Like I'm like, or I'm like the video, the frame that it chooses, and I realize I could go into the editor and specify which frame would be the one that I want on the video, but it's kind of fun to see which one YouTube decides as, hey, this is the best, or it's probably just an algorithm, just pick a frame. So anyway, let's go through the introductions. Housekeeping. Today is May 20th, 2018. Almost sounds like it should be a holiday. It might be. 5/20. It's my day 2.10, 2.010. So I guess we're in the first double digits of the second year, third year. Anyway, a couple things to share. I have been in a funk for probably the last couple videos this week. I have definitely been in a funk. And I'm trying to, my goal for today is to try and figure out what that funk is. To be, give myself some leeway. Today is Sunday. It is the first day this week. I'm going to shift. Pardon me. We'll get to that in a minute. Today is the first day that I've actually had time to reflect. It's been just so very, very busy. Friday night, I ran a D&D game. Saturday morning to afternoonish, my daughter had a volleyball competition. And then last night, I was in a D&D game. I remember I was a player in a game. So this weekend has not been rest on your laurels, so to speak. And so today I think I'm going to really focus on, reflection, do some meditation, etc., etc. Try and just be quiet and listen to what the universe has to say to me, etc., etc. So I'm looking forward to that. Plus, it's just Sunday, which is always just such an awesome, awesome day. For me, anyway. I don't go to church. I don't, it's nice to leave Sunday open as catch-up day, which in their wisdom, most of the churches that I grew up in as a kid always had Sunday set aside. You should do no work, etc., 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 even though it is a good day for housework. So a couple of things to talk about. And the first thing is I will submit myself before I say anything else to apologize in advance. If you were here and willing, I would gladly accept 5 lashes with a pool noodle, a dry pool noodle, as punishment for what I'm about to say. So I'm willing to accept my punishment initially for what I'm about to say. All right, so let me get a sip of Jizzy Busy. Okay, that out of the way. My vagina is really tight. There's something about the morning. The first dilation is just a bitch, and it every morning it's what I dread somewhat, and that's why I say I'm willing to submit to the pool noodle, because I know a year ago if I had met someone who had GCS and they were complaining about their vagina being too tight in the morning, I'd be like, fuck you, bitch. Okay, so I will accept that. If you feel in any way, shape, or form, oh my gosh, Karen, shut the fuck up, yes, you are absolutely right. However, this is my video blog of this transition, and I almost wonder when the end of it will be. Is there ever an end? I don't think so. But definitely the vagina hurts this morning, and that's why when I move in my chair, I go, oh. My hope is that will go away in time, but I was thinking about yesterday as I was dilating about You know, cis girls don't have to dilate, right? I mean, that's the way they're built, and I guess as part of our gestation, when because of our chromosomes, we developed into males. Did we lose that cat? I guess it never grew, right? I mean, again, you got to start from the same blueprint, same raw material, and the blueprint. We got to a certain point, and because of the XY, because of the chromosome, because of the sex, the blueprint, it said, okay, build option A or option B here, and move forward. And so instead of getting the tube and the vagina with the cervix and all the other stuff, we got something else that filled it up. And of course, having GCS, that gets ripped out, and this other cavity gets forced. And it was explained to me that our bodies are very good at healing, and the body wants to go back. It still has that blueprint in action, maybe. And it wants to close that cavity back down, and so that's why we dilate. At least that's my understanding, as it was explained to me. And that's why we dilate for the rest of our lives, because our body is going to try and shut that thing down. Weird thought. So, for the rest of my life, I assume I will have a very unpleasant and painful first dilation, and that is just the way it goes, I guess. But it is painful. That said, I can share with you that a lot of the healing, I would say the right labia is fully done. Maybe a little bit to go on it, as far as the flap closing down and pulling itself in. So it looks pretty normal as labias go. Not that I'm an expert. However, the right labia, or left labia, this one on this side, is starting to pull itself in. I noticed that if you were able to pull it aside, the cuppiness, what I used to look like brain coral, that is pulling itself together. So there is some major healing going on. And like I said, I think it's going to be like a zipper. It's going to start at the top. Here, this one's already done, and it's just going to kind of work its way in there. I still have the little kickstand flap of skin that I don't on this side. And I think that was, as I've mentioned before, I think that was intentionally done to keep it open so it would drain. So I don't know what's going to happen to that. But as part of progress, I can share with you that I'm not filling up the pads like I used to, which is awesome, because I feel there's something about the pad, this, you can't avoid this piece of plastic. It's outside. It's folded up like that, and you open it up and you pull it off, and it exposes the tape that holds it in your panties. Or this one actually has these two little wings that they fold over your panties. It's from an environmental point of view, my concern. I don't like the fact that I'm generating so much plastic, which is why I like, bear with, that's why I like these guys. The panty liners, much thinner, and you generate, it's hard to see because of the light. There it is, this purple, you pull that off. So you are generating a little itty bitty bit of plastic compared to the other. And this is lined with a little bit of aloe, which I like. And I don't, like I said, these, 4 weeks ago, I was filling the big ones hourly with drainage. Nowadays, I'm on these guys. I still use the big ones at night, but I'm on those little ones during the day. And I've noticed that is very, very minimal, the discharge. Very, very minimal. And that again tells me that things are healing inside. So that's good news. At the end of the day, I kind of give myself an inspection at the end of the day. Pull things apart, look with a mirror, and then that's how I know things are healing on the inside. And I've noticed too, probably what the pads used to capture that yellow liquidy. It's skin that's broken down into just organic matter. Um, that is almost non-existent. But at the end of the day, it's consolidated down from a liquid to almost a really thick plasma-like substance, very thick, and that is in there. But it's the kind of thing when you go to the bathroom and you wipe yourself, you pull it off, and you can look in the tissue, which is another hobby I've developed, to see if any of it comes out, and that's getting less and less. So like I said, I think it's probably safe to say we're over the hump and on the tail end of it. And my hope is that the labia on the left side here will continue to fold in, and that kickstand, I don't know what my body's going to do about it. Obviously on the inside, things that my body didn't need, it converted into the yellow plasma that it spit out. And so that's kind of what I'm hoping, because when you have the labia, it's really weird to have this. My thumb is. It's weird to have this like kickstand, and of course it almost looks like a little penis, or it's a piggy in a blanket or something. And so, yeah, my hope, like I said, my hope is that will heal, and you'll have just the regular labia. Okay, so all right, enough of that. Enough to talk about my vagina. But it does hurt, and when you sit, it hurts. When you stand, it hurts. I mean. Is it enough pain to keep me? If I knew about it 3 months ago, would it have kept me from having surgery? No. I mean, you know how that goes. You climb a mountain to have surgery if you have the opportunity. So no, that's wouldn't have kept me. I don't have any regrets. It's just, it is somewhat of a constant pain that's going away. Much less. I'd much rather have it as it is today than it was 2 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago. And it's mind-bogglingly to me that it's been 7 weeks since my surgery. I'm like 4 days from being 8 weeks, and at 8 weeks I can penetrate. So, as you can see, there's no one at my door waiting. Mr. Wright, please make yourself known at some point. I don't think I want to show you the dildo that I ordered, because it's too big. Imagine that. I ordered a dildo that was too big. So today, hopefully, I ordered 2 dildos. So for a person who hasn't owned sex toys their entire life, here I am, 46 and a half, and I now, by the end of today, I will have 1 vibrator and 3 dildos. So yeah, this is the vibrator. Looks kind of like something they would, check your eyesight, and whatnot. Obviously, vibrates. This is the clitoris thing, and this thing kind of works. It's a suction thing, and you put it on your nose. You can use your nipple or other things, the clitoris especially, and it actually will do a little sucking. And you'd have to use your imagination to envision it actually being someone sucking you, but it's a little stimulating, and I'm still getting used to. And maybe that's worthy of discussion for a moment. Consider, if you will, trans women. We probably, in our previous incarnation, have had some sexual experience. I can't imagine, especially when you get to be middle age, not having sex with someone previously. Okay. So I think it's fair to say we probably have some sort of indication of what sex is like, male to female. So now we're learning what sex is like female to male or female to female. Okay. I don't know of any other comment. There's probably female to animal or something, but that's not in the context of this channel or my life at the moment that I know of. So what I'm leading up to is, how in the hell are we supposed to know what an orgasm is? A female orgasm. We've seen it, probably. We've been probably caused a few as males, the male body we had. But we've not experienced an orgasm from the female side of things. And so how are we to know when we're having an orgasm, knowing what we know about an erection and ejaculation, etc., etc.? So, it's one of those things. The other day I was trying the vibrator, this thing, and I was like, okay, well, that feels kind of good. Okay, that feels kind of good. Ooh, that feels kind of good, but no orgasm. And I'm like, well, is this what I should be doing? Is this, and maybe that's food for thought for and I don't know how you would bill it medically, but as part of your health insurance, or again, I don't know how they would do that, but almost some sort of sex ed. It would, again, probably not legally you could do it, but I don't know, if you had a really good friend, I don't know how I feel about that, but if you knew a guy who would, if you knew a guy or a girl, let's be honest, if you knew someone who could, in theory, make a woman climax, I almost think it would be kind of a cool it'd have to be a medical instructional thing, but for them to say, I'm going to try and make you climax, so you would know what it was, and that way you'd be like, oh, okay, I'm climaxing. And please, I know that sounds so very weird, but if you haven't already, you will maybe find yourself laying on your back with a mechanical device of some kind. You're like, okay, does this feel good? Does this feel good? Ooh, I don't like that. Ooh, now I'm hurting. So again, it would be nice, I think, to have some sort of instructional. I mean, we have sex ed. I mean, my daughter just went through sex ed. Now, I don't want hands-on sex ed, but, this is the vagina. This is the cervix. Those kinds of things. So maybe it would be worth it to have some sort of, I don't know, like a learner's permit, or what is it, driver's ed? I'm going to make you climax so you can experience it. Anyway, ooh, it's getting hot in here. Ooh, ooh, Lord of God, fetch me my smelling salts. So anyway, so I submitted to I've apologized for complaining about GCS and having a vagina a little bit. I've admitted that I would still do it and that progress is being made. So that's the summary so far. Thing I'll end on is what I'm going to do, I think, is write on my calendar what my moods are. Because I'm beginning to suspect two things that are related. And the moon too. I'm beginning to suspect that I have developed an emotional cycle that would be the equivalent of a PMS, depression, whatnot. I've heard it's possible, and I've done a little bit of research. Give me credit for researching at this time. There are those who believe, sounds like Battlestar Galactica, there are those who believe that life began out there. There are those who believe that a post-op can, and a pre-op too, I mean, you're messing with your body, your endocrine system, right, with hormones. can experience PMS and the emotional. Okay, and I'm not talking menstruation as in like blood coming out, but I mean that emotional roller coaster. And that's what I'm beginning to wonder if that's what I'm experiencing. And that's why the depression. So that's a possibility. The other thing is I inject myself on Sundays. So today, like this morning, I had my injection. And of course, I'm beginning to feel wonderful because I had my injection of estrogen. Okay. And so my question is there a correlation? Is it psychosomatic? Like yesterday, oh, things are terrible, you know, blah, blah, blah. But now that I've had my injection, you know, I have a pick-me-up. You know, is it something that I am doing to myself and like a psychosomatic thing that now I can feel better because I've had my injection? Or is there a reason for it? Like I've had my injection. The estrogen is stimulate the chemicals are stimulating neuron responses in my brain, so I'm happier. You know what I mean? Is there a reason for it, or am I just full of shit and telling myself this is what's going to happen? So that's that. So we'll see what that is. The other thing, and I will finish on this one, is again I feel like time. I don't know where the time goes. I honestly don't know where the time goes. And supposedly on Thursday, when I hit 8 weeks, I can switch my dilation schedule from 5 times a day to 3 times a day. And I'm wondering what effect that will have, because I swear, Scout's honor. Scout's honor? Is that Scout? I'm sorry. It's been a while. Sorry, Eagle Scout. I don't know where the day goes. I mean, I promise you, I get up, I dilate, and it's 5 o'clock at night, 6 o'clock at night. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. Repeat, you know, every day. And so I'm wondering if dilating less, what that will do. The literature that I got, you know, Your New Vagina talked about sexual penetration counts as dilation. And the two dilators that are the two dildos that are coming today are, I think, a little more friendly. And that probably is a video all to itself about dildos. I am not a dildo expert, but I've done some research, and I can probably give some firsthand anecdotes, perhaps. But the first dildo I bought, like I said, was way too big. It's definitely more of, I think, more of a theatrical piece. It feels good. It feels right. From stem to stern, it feels like a real deal. And it gives some tactile sensation, but it's way too damn big for my vagina, at least. Again, clitoral stimulation, particularly with the head of the penis, is top notch. But as far as penetration goes, which would count for the dilation, which is why I'm talking about it, that will remain to be seen. And that's why I had to get smaller diameter penises. Girth, I think, is what they call it. The circumference had to be a lot smaller. I measured my largest dilator, and it's almost like 1.45 in diameter. About, I think it was 13 or 14 centimeters circumference. And so that works. But this other one, the website said it was a certain size, and it was a little bit bigger. Imagine that, a penis size being different than what the person said it was. So yeah, there's no way. I mean, it's It's Superman and Lois Lane having sex. I mean, there's just no way. But these other ones, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, I'll do the job. And the other thing I noticed is the dilators, much like this handle here, have a little curve to them. And this thought, I know I'm going on kind of long, but you might get a kick out of this. Okay, look at go to your doctor's office or go online and look at, you'll see a cutaway view of, of a female reproductive area, and you'll see like a cross section of you'll see the cervix and the tubes and the labia and whatever, your vulva, and you'll see that the pathway is it's a curve, right? It's a curve. And that's why they say when you dilate, you kind of go in on a curve. Well, the dilators do have a little bit of a curve to them, but the actual girth of them is straight, okay? Like a candlestick or a pencil or a pen. Here we go. This is a good example. You know what I mean? It's straight. But if you look at a cross-section at the tube that connects the labia to the cervix, okay, that tube, it's on a curve, okay? Now, yes, it can push up against the urethra, okay, push that tissue up, and you can kind of get a straight line, but there's still a curve. So what I noticed was the two dildos that are coming today, I didn't want to risk it. I went with two different manufacturers, a little different size difference, because I'm figuring, okay, I'm going to see which one fits better, okay? And who knows, we might alternate days. I don't know. But they were curved, okay? Like my fingers here are curved, okay? The penis is curved so that it also matches. If this is the curve of your vagina, this is the curve of the penis. Okay, they match, right? They line up. As opposed to the dilators, which are straight. So you see the problem here? I mean, just ergonomically, the difference. So I'm kind of curious to see if that makes a difference. I'm hoping that it will. But it was funny, just looking at the different types of dildos and whatever, and I almost got one that was pink, and it was called the Learner's dildo, and it was like it had a diameter of, I think, almost an inch, maybe slightly less than an inch, and it blew my mind to think about. Oh, I didn't finish my other blow your mind. Let me finish this blow your mind. Just, you know, if you were, let's imagine for the moment, and I'm going to assume we're all trans women here, but imagine yourself being a 12 or 13 or 14-year-old cis girl. You're exploring your body. You're going through puberty. You know, it's that whole Massengill, you know, Mom, do you ever get that not so fresh feeling? You know, your mother you might ask your mother about sex or whatnot, and so she gets you the Learner's dildo. You know, I mean, I don't know if that's the way it goes. It obviously, I'm not a cis girl. I was never a cis girl, etc., etc. But I am curious, you know. Oh, honey, you know, use the Learner's, the Learner's dildo. Anyway, back to my other story. The first blow your mind. So here's the thing. Okay, we know that this pathway is curved, right? It's curved. So that means that in our previous incarnation, you know, stereotypically, in movies and TV shows, never, the penis is like this stiff. Now I really want to show you the dildo. It's very lifelike. The penis is, it's stiff, right? I mean, it's, you know, sack and tadpole, right? But straight versus curved, that means every time this action happened, guess what happened? This got deformed into a curve. You know what I mean? I never knew that. You know, maybe that's not the way it works. Maybe it's ramrod straight, and that's the friction that generates between the top of the urethra and the bottom of the what's the technical name for your butt? Uh, whatever that is, system. You know, your poo poo system on the bottom and your pee pee system on the top, and maybe that's the push that clamps onto the penis. I don't know, but it does blow my mind a little. All right, so 30 minutes. If you're on the treadmill, you just did a half an hour. Bless your heart. And I'm feeling better today. So maybe this is what I needed to do, was just sit down and talk. But all right, my friends, that is it. I've procrastinated a little bit. I guess I didn't want to go dilate. That's why I kept on talking. But I did share some good stuff here, I hope. And I definitely wish everyone the best of luck on their journey, as I say, and the best of luck in becoming the best version of yourself as you want to be. Last night at D&D, I looked at myself in the mirror and I could tell I was tired. And because of my genetics anyway, the skin underneath my eyes are very, very thin. And so I naturally have this gaunt look, like I'm not necessarily a drug addict, but I'm sleepy all the time, even when I'm fully awake. And last night it was like someone had taken a pool cue or gray chalk and just did and after I did my makeup and whatever, I could hide it a little bit, but I was like, damn, you look like death warmed over. And that was a sign to me that I really needed to sleep. So, all right, my friends, till next time, best of luck. Appreciate the bandwidth. And let me get on my finger on the right button. And until next time, good luck. All right.